For Life our Raiders celebrating 2,000 subs and very joining us. Are celebrating 2,000 subs. Thank you all for your support. What's good, Raider Nation? Spicy Raider Girl here with Mother Moon and
Hi,
Omar.
What's
Hey,
up?
Omar.
Happy New Year.
Happy New
Happy
Year.
New Year, everyone. Of course, we are celebrating 3,000 subs today, so cheers to all of you. We appreciate you.
Cheers.
I will drink to that, of course.
Cheers
Yep.
to you all.
If you are still drinking this New Year's Day, if you have some champagne, the drinking game alert is thank you, Raider Nation. Every time we say thank you, and we do mean it, you know what to do. Light that torch, hit that like button, subscribe to this channel if you aren't subscribed already, and join to become a member. And we are offering something today for everyone who's already a member. Actually, you're already entered, so looky there. But become a member of this channel, and enters you for a chance to win a Woodson Whiskey commemorative bottle. And if you hit the super chat button throughout this broadcast, it will give you a chance to win giveaways. This is going to be a fun show. It's going to be an interactive show. And we are going to have mini versions of all of our shows within this greater show here. So
Wow, there's a lot to look forward to.
Right? You'll be able to see, of course, our take, the Raiderettes Roundtable, Couch GMs, and the Spicy Shield Talk all here in the next 2 hours. So make sure if you got to pop in and out to come back. But we're going to go over some of our memorable moments that we have here at For Life Our Raider Story. But before we get into that, I want to talk a little bit about the evolution of this show and how we got to where we are today. So let's see. 2020, go all the way back to 2020. Can you believe it? February, before the pandemic hit, actually.
Right before, yeah.
Right before. And of course, the year after the Raiders decided to leave us here in Oakland, we decided to film a little show called For Life Our Raider Story. And the purpose of that show was, you want to tell him, Mother Moon?
Yeah, the purpose of that show was we wanted to document the move because eventually it was going to happen. But everyone was asking, and I mean everyone we ran into were asking, are you still going to be a fan? You know, what are you going to do when they leave? Are you going to jump ship? And then we were just like, let's document what we have and get everyone's story of why they became a fan. And so it came into why we are fans and what the Oakland Raiders meant to us.
Yes, we got asked over and over again. So we decided to, well, that's an interesting screen there. We don't need to see all that. We decided to so what we did, we started filming episodes. We started filming episodes, talking about how we felt about all of those things. And if you have not tuned in, you can go to our show and watch all the episodes here. We did 4 episodes, as you see here on the screen. Go back, check it out, watch them, enjoy, and then you can get our story, pun intended, on why we are still Raiders fans, how we feel about the move, and all of that. And it progressed from there, because from there, what happened? Of course, we all know we filmed this in February. We started the YouTube channel in March, but we did not actually go live with these episodes until April. Right. Then the episodes aired. However, the little thing called the pandemic hit. We all remember that. And we had nothing better to do than to do what we're doing right here, right now, and be on Zoom meeting with our friends. So there
Love Raiders.
started the live shows. Never intended on doing live shows. Never intended really for it to be a channel, to be honest. We thought we were
Right.
going to do a few episodes and be done. Share our story and be done.
Yeah.
But thanks to all of you. Thank you, Raider Nation. You
Thank
asked
you,
us
Raider Nation.
to do these shows.
Cheers.
And we have. And now we are in our, what are we in now? 2021, 22, 23. Oh my goodness.
And I think as the channel has grown, we have grown to be less salty.
Time heals
little
all
bit.
wounds, Mother Moon. Time heals all wounds.
Yes, and I think that's what's happening. But still, there's a long way to go.
Yes. And then once we got past our live shows, we were able to go back out into the wild and be with you, Raider Nation. And that's just what we did. And we took this little show on the road, if you will. We did live shows in Arizona with Arizona Raider Nation. We did live shows in Atlanta with the Atlanta Booster Club. We did live shows from Peter Dillon's in New York with the Silver and Black Empire. And we did live shows even in Cabo, Mexico with Raider Cabo out there. And one of my other favorites, we did several live shows actually in Baja with the Baja crew. That one was live on the street. That was wild, by the way. And that brings us into, well, we'll get there. We're still evolving. That is one of my favorite memories that we'll get to. However, once we started doing that, we thought, you know what? We have so many great cast members now, and Omar joined the cast, and he wanted to kind of do his own shows. And Mother Moon and I really wanted to bring that woman's perspective in with the Raiderettes Roundtable. So we decided to call this For Life Our Raiders Network, where we have now, 4 shows running on the network? Weekly, bi-weekly. Like I said, Outtake, Couch GMs, Raiderettes Roundtable, and the Spicy Shield Talk. So I think that brings us up to date.
It brings us up to date. You know, if you're enjoying one of those shows, pop on the other and just become a full-on network groupie.
Yes.
I mean, watch. It's definitely a For Life Our Raider story in different parts of each show, and it's just good to hear from everyone's perspective of how they feel about the Raiders.
Yes, and our show was a lot about the fans, actually.
Yeah.
We really focused on the fans when we started, not really so much football, to be honest. We focused on the fans. So if you go to special segments, you can see interviews from some of our favorite fans, like Senor Raider. He is one of them with Candid Conversations, as we call them. Moon did most of those interviews, so circle back and check that out. I want to say what's up to the chat, in particular the members that are in here, because they are already in in the raffle, if you will.
Yes.
Have a chance to win. There you go. Speedy Raider, what's good? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
So he has been here since day one. Lucky, of course, I think Lucky might be our newest member. He recently found the show, and we had a chance run in, and he was on the show going for Fan of the Year. We wish him luck. That will be announced at the last game at Allegiant Stadium at the end of the first quarter. So congratulations to you, Lucky. I know we have some other members that maybe just aren't in here quite yet, but you will be entered to win. So let's just make up some rules, shall we?
Make up some rules. Okay.
Yeah, why not? So you have to be a member.
Okay. Yes.
You have to watch this, and you have to let me know you won, because I'm not going to come find you. That's it. That's the rules.
Oh, and then if you live far, here's a rule: you have to pay for the shipping.
Correct. Or if you see me in real life, I'll hand it off to you. How's that?
Yeah.
I like those rules, Mother Moon. Sheila, what is good? Happy New Year, girl. I hope you didn't settle down last night, girl. I hope you did your thing. Jay Jackson, Happy New Year's from Arizona. Navajo on the go. Jay Jackson will be joining us a little bit later in the show, so stay tuned. Protect the Shield, 3,000 subs. Congratulations. Cheers. Thank you. And I want to thank him, actually, because he has a lot to do with this, with gaining and growing our show, because he is my co-host over on the Spicy Shield Talk, and you're going to get a glimpse of that and our favorite memories a little later in the show. Fish and Game 2024 sounds like the year of Woodson. I hope 2024 sounds like whatever anybody wants it to sound like, and they have the best year ever. Because you know what? It's been a little rocky. I'm not gonna lie. You know, I think finally, I know it's been years and years and years, but you still got that little pandemic funk hanging. I'm just saying. People still
fishing
getting
game
COVID.
has
I'm
been
like, that's
around for
no
a long
thing.
time as well,
That's no thing.
right? Fishing
Anywho,
game's been a long.
Chizone, Happy New Year to you all. Thank you so much. He's been a supporter of the show. He's been on our show several times. We appreciate you. Sunshine Bug, what is up, my girl? Happy New Year, ladies, and Omar.
Girl.
All right, Omar, let's kick it off to you. Tell me some of your, favorite moments of being part of this ride that we've been on for the past couple of years.
I think, well, number one, I jumped in. You guys had already, kind of solidified in my mind the channel. You know what I mean? And at least how you guys wanted to go about it. This is all during the pandemic, like you were saying, man. We're all at home. I was working a lot, but still, that was it. And I was working from home, and then this hit, and I loved it. But I absolutely love the fact that when that first game of the 2020 season hit, no fans were allowed. We were like, we're going anyway.
Yep.
Saints fans were like, we're going anyway. And then you have a very empty Vegas. You got us on the strip. You got us doing shows finally together. At least I believe that was my first time seeing you guys and doing a show together. We did it in the hotel. And then we did those great interviews at Tommy Rockers and just hung out with a bunch of rebels who were like, Corona? Yeah, we're going to take our chance on this one.
That's not going to stop us. How dare you?
Right? Like, that was just crazy right there, because we were just like, we're rebels. Empty planes, empty hotel. Yes. Hey, look, I'm a player on a budget, and I got the best hotel room I will ever get in my life.
I know you're right. Yeah, absolutely.
I had this huge suite to myself, and I was like, wow, this is how the other half lives. So that whole moment, and you know what I'm saying, that was just, to me, awesome.
Why is he doing this?
And it really just kind of kicked off, at least me being a part of the team. And then after that, like I say, just some of the fun things we did over in Emeryville, doing some shows there. We did a show in my backyard.
Yes.
That was just cool. So
actually, that never aired. That never aired. We might even release that in the Gator Show. So you see right here, you see a little clip. We called this one, just speaking of what Omar was talking about, from the Bay to Mandalay Bay. We document our journey, and here's our suite. We had a suite as well.
I think everybody has suites,
right?
Yes.
Not only that, we took a semi-private jet because
we sure did.
Less people on this flight right here, but we're gonna do it. This was a fun video. But like you said, Omar, we were out there. We were representing. So go back and check out these episodes. We want you to enjoy them. And it's so funny. People will say this to me all the time because people always would be like, yeah, you're from the Raiders are from the Bay, Mandalay Bay. So we when someone says something that they want to jab you, you just take it and you run with it. And we say we from the Bay to Mandalay Bay. I still get people out there in the wild, by the way. Most recently, like ago, somebody just yelled that at me or to me, like towards me, like I was out in the wild. Someone's like, from the Bay to Mandalay Bay.
Yeah, this was a great memory.
Wearing the mask. And the mask was just because of Corona. I just had a Raider mask, but that wasn't part of my outfit. That was the Corona outfit.
Wow, we were living large.
I'm glad the Gator one didn't come out. I mean, I remember I've done Gator the same way every time I've did it. And of course, the moment we tried to record this, everything that could possibly go wrong went wrong. The bag with all the brine in it. Remember, it broke in the cooler because I used the cooler that they shipped the Gator in to brine it. I do a thaw brine and it broke. It was a mess. So I'm kind of happy we just keep that between us. We can lock it.
All right, fair enough. So that will maybe we'll put that, Omar. We'll put that on a members only list.
Right.
You become a member. You can see. You know what the issue was, Omar? What I really think it was. You're out like you do Gator so well and probably every element, but your real element is at the tailgate. You try to do this. You were too domesticated and try to do it in your kitchen, and it just was like, we better get it out and be lot, Omar. Make this work.
Oh, that's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Definitely. But
Good times there.
those are
Mother
definitely
Moon.
some of my favorite moments.
Yeah.
Mother Moon, do you want to share your favorite moment? I think I know what it is. From Mother Moon to Mama Lynch.
Oh yeah, I just love. We were doing a show in Emeryville at the Bank Club. Thank you, Anna, for allowing us to do so. And we're after we wrap, and who comes rolling in? But Mama Lynch, and she was lit, ready to go. We were dancing. Ooh, get it, Mama? Ow, ow.
Yeah.
And and we were just doing it. So we made a good friend out of Mama Lynch, and we still have a little contact with her every now and then.
Yeah, that was so much fun. She literally just pulled up. We had just got done filming an episode,
Yeah.
and this is in like Mother Moon said, in Oakland, where we or Emeryville, excuse me, it's very near Oakland, where we were filming. Thanks to Anna, and yeah, that was such a fun time. Like I will never forget that. That segues me, Mother Moon. Do you want to continue? Do you have more to say about that? Because that reminded me of something.
Well, I just want to say overall at the Bank Club, we filmed there. We had Senor, we had the candid conversation. So go back and watch all those there if you can. It's just having her there and bringing that vibe to us. It was just great, and I want to say that was one of my top favorite moments.
All right. And I just want to say that speaking of, we talked early on when the top of the show, we've talked about how this show started and how it's evolved. And I did not even mention this aspect of it. It has now evolved into us hosting live watch parties and events.
Yeah. Oh.
So we never imagined that it would go there. It was never on our radar for that to happen. So we have done several watch parties now in the Bay Area. I think we've done 3 in the Bay Area, I want to say 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And then we've also done like meet and greet fan events at different cigar lounges, one in Las Vegas and one out in Miami. So, I mean, the show has really just kind of taken on kind of this life of its own. And again, it's all thanks to you fans. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I want to say also that just going around to Miami, just New York, and seeing different places, not just with the Raiders, but seeing how they celebrate. What's in that certain state, what's important to them, and how they party and how they get down, and actually, open arms as, hey, come on in, let's pull it up. And in Las Vegas now too, like I said, the Tap and Ash, love that place. We did some filming there, like I said. So it's been a great road trip, and I hope to have more.
Yeah, we were able to do a live show at Tap and Ash, and we look forward to continuing that partnership with them out in Vegas. We did a little version of the Spicy Shield talk out there on November 10th. So yeah, and in collaboration, of course, with Woods and Whiskey, we want to thank them as well we'll talk about that a little bit later on the Spicy Shield talk. But yeah, we never thought it would evolve into anything like this. And Moon, going back to what you were saying about different ways that the Raiders booster clubs or whatnot celebrate is so true. We've been I'll say honored, to be let into these different homes, if you will, clubs, if you will. Yeah, and everyone has their own special thing. Like, I know when I was out in New York at Peter Dillon's, Johnny, who runs the bar there, he's very particular about how he does his pregame ritual, and it's great, and the way he goes with saying the autumn wind and touching the helmet and all of that, and then you go down to Baja and you see how they celebrate and how they represent the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
And in Cabo, when we went there, this is great. I wish I had a split, but go back and check it out. So they had like the giant bottle of tequila with the snake in it, or the snake, right?
It was a snake.
Yeah, I remember we were doing like snake. So everyone has their own different little traditions, and I think, so it was so awesome. Ana Diaz, thank you so much for being a member. Happy New Year to you. Hector Padilla, Happy New Year's. Ernie, Happy New Year to you and your family. Thank you. We appreciate you too. And that's why we are here doing this like I said, become a member for your chance to win that commemorative bottle, and hit the super chat button if you want to enter to win some prizes here. So what are some of your other, I guess, favorite memories? And I'll try to pull them. Oh, can I share mine? Sorry.
Yeah, because yours is good.
I'm getting like a little excited because I never really looked back at these shows, to be honest. You know what I mean? And so this is like, I think this is like a trip down memory lane for us as well. And maybe for some of you, but probably really more so if you haven't seen some of these shows. But this one right here is my favorite. This goes back to what Omar was speaking of when we did a lot of live shows. The home opener, but no fans were allowed, but we still went out there. And I had the honor of interviewing fan favorites at this point. I think these might be the best football parents and football fans around, but Mr. and Mrs. Crosby here. This was a great interview. This particular show is 3.5 hours long, as you see. They come in at the 2-hour and 55-minute mark. So if you want to circle back and hear this interview, I think this was the first time I had met them.
Yes, it was. For me as well, and just as friendly as can be, as I think everyone has grown to know. They're number one tailgate parents out at the games. Really good people.
Yeah, it's a fun interview. They're both a lot of fun. So yeah, I might pull this one and re-release it. So y'all don't have to go searching for it. Omar, do you have any more memories that you can think of?
I got one that sticks out, and it's so funny because just like one of my other memories, it was Raiders against Saints. We're out there in Las Vegas for that game. The other one was when we were actually in New Orleans, and I'm sitting here scouting out places because I wanted to do a show. Yeah. And I'm sitting there scouting out. I mean, our hotel wasn't very far from Bourbon Street, and it's just, outside of the hotel, it's just loud everywhere. It was awesome. And so our hotel had this court, and me and Arthur was like, screw it. The court had tables, and of course, behind us, there's some Saint fans. Yeah, so it was heck of money. They were kind of curious of what we're doing. You know what I mean? And fun. You know what I mean? Like, if there's any other fan base that I do really, I've enjoyed all my encounters with, it has been Saint fans. And so, they were throwing a few shots at us, but when we got on camera, when we started the show, they were hella respectful. And then, you know what I mean? We kind of talked with them just for a little bit, but it was just awesome where we just end up setting up and doing that show right there in the court, which was open of the hotel before that Saints game. And of course, just being in New Orleans, it was Halloween. So of course, it was just a big party everywhere. It was a good time. So that's definitely another one of my fond memories, just because, like I say, the things that went around it, of course, parties and everything else that we like to do. This wasn't a pandemic situation. So it was nonstop partying, and we got that show in, and then went and hit the party.
Yeah, I would say, so when I wasn't in New Orleans, but the New Orleans fans they showed out on the 2020 season as well when no fans were allowed.
Yeah.
We all watched the game together from some location. I can't remember where, but they were actually kind of a good time. I'm not gonna lie.
Right.
Yeah, like I said, they're just a fan base that has stood out for me. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. In away games, I have not enjoyed a fan base. You know what I mean? It seems like the most obnoxious of them comes. You know what I mean? I've seen at Allegiant Stadium, but in their house, they seem to be, awesome. Well, you know what? I got to take that back. One of the most obnoxious fans I've encountered was a Steeler fan, and I did encounter some obnoxious ones when I was at the Steeler game in Pittsburgh. So there you have it.
Okay. I want to share who I think is the star of the show. This particular show. He's been on several times. He's even hosted his own shows twice called Saturday Mornings with Chucky and Friends. And he makes appearances all of the time. But I love this one in particular. If you haven't viewed our shorts, make sure to check out our shorts as well. This is our season finale today for this show. We are having a Raiderettes Roundtable tomorrow, which is a season finale for that show. But we will continue to do shorts. So if you haven't checked out the shorts, check them out. This is my boy right here.
Unrehearsed.
rehearsed on the fly, filmed by the Raiders. And may I say, this got 157,000 views on the Raiders TikTok.
Raiders, Josh Jacobs, Matt, Adam, we gotta win next time. Home, away, no matter what. Anything we do, have to beat the Raiders. It has to be about the Raiders. Go! Let's go, Raiders! Let's go! Let's go! Raiders.
Okay, I'm a little scared. In a good way. Okay. I mean, listen, he needs to be like the hype man before that team runs out on the field. Can I like petition for that?
Even the way, he's so precious. He's Raiders. He has an accent.
Where'd that come
like
from,
he's
right?
in Boston. It's Raiders.
Raiders.
With his little teeth coming in. So cute. I want to say there's also another show, Baha, that he was the interpreter.
He's a co-host.
He was a co-host, and he was doing interviews in English and in Spanish with the fans out there. I was amazed.
I actually kind of became his co-host because, to be perfectly honest, I caught every other. I speak very little Spanish. If that's even a true statement, right? So I kind of let him take over, and he ran with it. And this is he's like what, 5?
Yeah, so precious.
So shout out to him.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, anything else before we wrap up this segment of the show? Because we are going to go into For Life, our Raiderettes Roundtable right.
I had so many, and I want to go back and watch a lot of the shows myself. So please, everyone, do so. And I think one last thing, Omar and I did a trivia game on the show. We did the trivia, and I think maybe that might come back. Right? So watch all the shows. When we start up again after our hiatus, we'll do a trivia show and give out a prize at that point too. That was fun.
And Moon's kind of giving you some homework here because the trivia was both Raiders trivia and For Life trivia. So I think Omar had the questions based on Raiders trivia, and Moon had the questions based on For Life trivia. So yeah, that was fun. We definitely got to do that again.
Yeah, we'll do that again. So go back and watch.
All right, Raider Nation. Next up is For Life, our Raiderettes Roundtable. All right, Raider Nation. We transformed into the Raiderettes locker room for this segment. For Life, our Raiderettes Roundtable. Before we get into kind of the memorable moments of this show, we, on behalf of For Life, our Raiders story, Mother Moon and myself, the Raiderettes, the name the Raiderettes is a very, and we respect the actual Raiderettes because we know that title is very specific to this sisterhood that they have. And so we don't want to take that away from them. However, as female football fans, a lot of people refer to us as Raiderettes as well. Okay. So, and the reason why I say that is the fan base out there, the Raiders fans that are females, I just kind of want to honor them as well. So, unfortunately, there was a tragedy that recently happened. So, we want to honor this honorary Raiderette. I'll put it that way. She is a cousin of our friend, our dear friend, Easy. Tragedy happened actually here in Pleasanton, where we are from, on December 18th. Evangelina, I mean, this is such a tragic story, and we want to really send our love to this family. It's really, really unimaginable what happened. I mean, I don't say that lightly. When I heard about this, I was just like, that has to be made up. No. So she was in a car accident right here, 680 off Burnell. This is a cousin again of Easy. So she herself, as well as three. Wait, sorry, let me get this right. Three, yes, herself. Sorry, I get a little choked up here sometimes. A daughter, a mother, and a niece were all tragically died in a car accident on their way to visiting their grandmother, who is in the hospital, who later died that day. Can you imagine? So Evangelina's mother lost her daughter, her mom, her niece, and her grandmother all in one day.
That's just heartbreaking. So we give out our love to the family. It's tragic. You know, a lot of people say just, prayers to you. My prayer is during this difficult time that you find some peace at whichever point, that your dear family is much loved, and we here respect knowing the part of that family, and we just give you our dearest condolences.
Yes, and Raider Nation, we all say, it's not just a franchise, it's a family. So reach out to this family, show them some love. You see, the funeral has yet to happen. It's going to be on January 7th. I know we're probably all going to be enjoying the last Raiders game, and maybe some of us will be at that game. But, take a minute, reach out to this family, and just make sure, you send them some love. And
if you could put that back up just for 1 minute, so I could point out to everyone, there is an address there. So I think you could probably send a card of condolences, perhaps some small gift of flowers or whatever you feel that you can, support them with. It's going to be just here in Hayward, if I read that correctly.
I think it's in San Jose.
Okay. Well, there's the name of the place, and the address there. So yeah, let's show the Raiders support and love to our Raiderette and the family.
Oh, and we have her dad here. Thank you for this. I'm Evie's dad. Thank you for the love. Of course, I just want to give you a big virtual hug. I just know there's nothing we can do to make this better. This is literally the most unimaginable thing that could ever happen. And so we just want to offer some of our support for you. And let me just share a photo, like a family photo of everyone. It's a beautiful photo. You can see that they're all Raiders fans. They're all representing. And, unfortunately, this family here is just now, just grieving times 4. My goodness. So there's this beautiful family, representing Raider Nation, all the way from the adults to the babies. So much love to you and your family.
Yes. Much love. What a great photo.
It is. All right. Well, it's never an easy transition to segue from something like that, but we are going to do our best. So we will want to go into some of our fabulous females' favorite moments here. And if you haven't already seen these shows, please go and check them out. They are so much fun to watch. I was actually just rewatching them recently because, you know, when you're interviewing, you kind of forget what was said. And they are just so much fun. Like, I feel exhilarated. Their energy is so great.
Yes.
Their stories are, listen, these ladies got some stories, okay?
And they have stories they can only tell on air. So
yeah. Go back. We want to thank everybody here. Kendra will be on the show tomorrow. She will be our season finale. Kendra will be on tomorrow, 6 o'clock for Life of a Raiderettes Roundtable. Shout out to Dee, who was on a couple weeks ago, and her cheer squad. The OGs, that was a fun show,
Yes.
Mother Moon. These are the OGs. If you don't know the OGs, you got to check out this show. These are the original Raiderettes from back in the day.
Hey, and they still have it. They did a cheer. They had their pom-poms. They were a good time.
They were a good time. They were a good time, actually.
Yes, they're super fun. And they do have, if you want to hit us up, I think they may have, I should say, some autograph photos.
Oh, they do. Yes, they do, actually. And they are willing to give them out.
Yes.
We were giving them out at one of our watch parties. But if you did not have a chance to get one, hit us here in the chat and we will reach out to them and make sure you get an autograph. They're more than happy to share. Shantae was fun. I want to give a extra special shout out to Mama Adrian. She has been on our show 3 times now because she has so much to say, because she went from being a Raiderette, then she went to being a Gold Rush girl, back to being a Raiderette. Well, that's a lot of seasons and a lot of stories. So definitely, oh, I knew this was coming. Settle down, Chris. Settle down. She's married. Shout out to Chocolate. He is speaking of Shantae. That's her nickname. She was my favorite. We know. Miss
Let's go back to Mama. Can we go back to Mama for 1 second?
Of course.
She also has an Insta. She does a little dance routines. So go and check her out. She's fun.
She is fun. Here she is right here on one of them. I'll just pull her up really quickly. And I you know, so much is going on in my brain right now, and that transition was a little tough. But if I did not mention this, thank you, Mama. She is our casting director for Life Our Raider Story. So she is responsible for bringing all of these talented ladies onto this show. And we thank her for that. Let me just get through these really quickly, Mother Moon. Shout out to Miss Donna. She's also part of the Las Vegas Aces cheer squad. Of course, we had sisters Deidre and Roxanne, Ellie, Naya, of course, one of the OGs, and Nicole. So thank you, ladies, for being on. Here's the thing. A little something for to entice you a little bit to become a member for more than one reason. Not only to have a chance to win a bottle of Woodson whiskey, a commemorative bottle of Woodson whiskey, but this show, after tomorrow's season finale airs, will be a members only. So you're going to get the last one tomorrow without becoming a member, and you can go back and watch all of these without being a member. But after that, you will have to be a member in order to hear the stories of these fabulous females. And one of the reasons why we're doing this is because we want to continue to book talent, and we see them as talent. And we see them as a valuable asset to the show, to Raider Nation, and what it is to being a Raiderette. When they used to cheer, they did not make public appearances for free. It was part of their contract where they would get paid to do it. And also as a casting director, Mama being the casting director. So it's not necessarily for us in our channel. It's to be able to book talent and compensate them in a way that we feel that they should be compensated. So if you do become a member, this particular show will be members only. And like I said, it will be to not only support the channel, but to support the Raiderettes.
Yeah, perfectly said.
Thank you, Mother.
And they have stories.
Oh, they have stories. I mean, and they don't really hold back. They have stories with Marcus Allen, Mark Davis, Al Davis, Howie Long, being in the locker rooms and on the planes. They've got some good stories, and they seem pretty cool, fine sharing. So yeah. But Mother Moon, did any of these stand out to you? What are I think to me, this was probably one of my favorites for several reasons. I mean, the OGs is just like, you really can't compare them to anyone else. If you want to talk about like ladies who have like really paved the way, they're right here. You know, and their stories are just so great. And we actually had a little bit of a production budget for this one. So it's filmed a little differently, you know, and we would really like to move into filming more shows like this. So it's not so much of this type of Zoom type of look, but we had a little, you know, multi-camera action going on here with these original fabulous females, the OGs. So definitely go and check out this show. What is kind of your favorite moment from this show in particular, Mother Moon?
Okay, so what I took away, well, so many stories from them, but one of the OGs right there in the back, I forget her name, but she brought her uniform in. And what was great is back in the day, they had to sew their own uniform. It's like, here's the material, go make this your uniform. And some had their sisters do it, and some had their moms, you know, sew this costume, this dance. Look at how nice that is. And they had to take care of their own seamstress. And that's really back in the day. There was no budget. You want to be on our team? Sew your costume.
Yeah, I think they said a lot of they say grandmothers, sisters, family members, basically.
Family members. Whoever they
cool, actually. They're a little Play Bunny-esque, actually, which I'm not mad at.
Right. So she has hers there. And then some of the other ladies have their uniform at Allegiant.
Oh yeah. Oh, actually, this lady, right? I you know what? Shame on me for not remembering these beautiful everyone's name, but in particular, right here, yeah, hers. If you've taken the tour, her uniform is actually on display, and her name is there as well.
There's one other lady, I believe, in the white, and shame on me also. We should have this. We should know there's just so many. Her uniform is also there, I believe.
Very nice, very nice. And we do have both the stadium tour and the headquarters tour on our show as well. So if you have not taken the tour, check out our video of either one of those. Check out our video so you can take a look inside both the facilities there. Yes, Happy New Year, Addie. Thank you for joining us today. Raphael, Happy New Year, ladies. Thank you so much. Speedy, I love y'all. Show in New Orleans, October 31st, 2022. I think that's yours, Omar. I think that's the one you were speaking of.
Yeah.
There you go. You got it. Shoot, maybe you can pull some of these clips for me. You got the date and everything. I've been to a lot of stadiums across the nation, and I have never come across the most saltiest as cowgirl fans. Okay, I don't recall that. I think for me, like Philly
was for me.
It's all good. Willie Wayne, what's going on? Salute, Spicy, and Mother Moon. All right, well, there you have it. Like I said, we are going to have our season finale of For Life, our Raiderettes Roundtable tomorrow, 6 p.m. with Kendra. She has got a lot to say.
Ooh, she does.
She has a lot of stories, and she has like a special personal story as well. So tune in to hear her story on, I would say, on and off the field. Wouldn't you, Mother Moon?
Yeah, definitely on and off the field. She has some, along with her peppy, everybody has that peppy enthusiasm. She has a serious story to speak on, and we're going to bring that on as well.
Yes, yes. All right, next we are going to bring in the cast of Couch GMs. So stay tuned for that, Raider Nation. Thank you so much for joining the segment of
Stay there. Don't go anywhere.
of our Raiderettes Roundtable.
On mute. I think I was on mute. I was talking away.
What's up? What's up?
Man, good to see you. Good to see you. It's been
absolutely likewise.
I think it's been since our mid-year review we did last year that you were on. But you know what? Before we go there, I got to say something because I was talking about the show I did in New Orleans.
Oh, yeah.
Outside of the show, however, I had a chance to hang out with Arizona Raider Nation.
Oh, yeah.
And let me tell you guys, I had an awesome time.
Absolutely. It was a great time, wasn't it?
Oh my goodness. We talk about me cooking gator, but we went on that swamp boat tour, and I mean, I wish I would have thought about this earlier. Like, dang it, Jared, give us some clips from that because you guys did a beautiful job of filming that and documenting that. Guys, if you have whenever you get a minute, go on their website, look at their videos. These guys do great production. We had Jay with us out in Miami, and I mean, you guys rock. You guys rock. So I got to just give some love because that, outside of doing the show, that was one of my favorite moments. And because of this show, it's how we were introduced. So I just got to give it up, boss man. I really do. That was awesome. I'm looking forward to the next time we can all get together and I can hang out with your crew. So
absolutely. That was such a blast. Thank you. Appreciate that. No, we've been doing it for a while. We just like to get together, travel, kind of keep it simple, but not really keep it simple, but no frills, and just do it Raider style. And we like to immerse ourselves in all the communities, all the away games we visit. And it's just it's the way we've always done it. And it's always a blast, and anybody's welcome.
Definitely, man. And one thing when I talk to you that I really enjoy, I'm hella optimistic, man. I can't help myself. I'm Raider crazy like that. You always brought a very real perspective.
Try to.
You seem to walk with your feet firmly on the pavement. As me, I'm like, dude, I'm dreaming. I don't care. Call me what you. And
no, I have to.
And I'm glad that you're here today. I mean, like I say, I went back to that old show, and like I say, and I'm like, yep, there's classic Omar, and my afterwards. And right now, I'm hurting from yesterday's loss. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm on with Jerry, and I was like, outside of a few little reminiscent, I want to do our thing and get into yesterday and just moving forward and get your perspective on, number one, the game. Because I mean, literally, man, I was going through the motion watching this game. I did. I kind of went. I was in my feelings a lot in this game, from reffing to some of the play calling on offense. You know what I mean. Anyway, I want to hear your take on this.
Definitely. I mean, I was in the same position too. I went in super optimistic. The spread was 3.5 plus 3.5 for the Raiders. Kind of scared me a little bit. It's like, they're thinking Indy's going to pull this off. But I thought we were firing on all cylinders. I was optimistic. Antonio Pierce was doing his thing. But at the end of the day, we've got to be super realistic. And what happened? Put the calls away, put everything away of what happened in the game. At the end of the day, to me, everybody on that sideline, including Pierce, the coaching staff, deer in the headlights. What happened? What's going on? Why are we not progressing Aiden O'Connell, giving him shorter plays that he can just connect with? Yeah, the receivers are dropping some passes too. Devontae's dropped so many passes this year, but I just saw deer in the headlights on our sidelines. So I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah, and I think I really felt that way. And maybe I need to go back and rewatch this, or maybe you have a little better outlook on that. There was a play where I believe it was Jacoby Myers caught the ball and ran out of bounds, and we had 5 minutes left, and the clock kept running. And I'm like, am I missing something, or should that clock have been stopped? And I was waiting for for AP to say something. And I'm like, well, maybe, like I say, I have so much faith in him that I'm sitting there doubting myself and what I saw. So did anyone else see that?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And again, they put the camera on Antonio and deer in the headlights. It's like, dude, say something. Go off on these refs. I mean, I don't know. It's just, at the end of the day, optimism always turns into here we are, same old feeling at this time of year with our Raiders. It's we did the preseason show you guys had me on, and we did our predictions. I forget what my prediction was, but I didn't have us going to the playoffs. But here we are.
Oh, I was all on the Kool-Aid, bro. I was so deep drinking the Kool-Aid. I mean, and here's why. When we put last week, when we put the absolute beat down on Kansas City, which I love to hear Travis Kelce go into denial about. I mean,
saw that.
Other things happened. Other teams started, lost that week. I was like, I'm thinking the wind is behind us. You know me, man. I'm like Super Bowl. I'm like defense wins championships. Every cliche you could think of.
Man.
That's what was going on in my head. I'm like, it's going down.
I like it, and that's exactly how I went into watching this game yesterday, and it's just like right away, it's like you almost, you just knew, this isn't the Raiders' day.
Right.
You just knew it right away.
I mean, I did a show on Saturday. I'm thinking, just like you were saying, short passes, run game. I'm like, we know this defense. He used to be our defensive coordinator. He's going to rush 4. He's dropping 7 that's going to be out there in coverage and things. So you're going to have the flats. Hey, we need to see more Renfro. We're going to need to see Zeus catch some balls. And I didn't get to see a lot of Renfro. I did see Jacoby. Of course, he kept trying to throw he kept trying to give Devontae his catches. Okay, Devontae still did 100-some yards, 2 touchdowns. Yeah. But just like you're saying, I don't think we designed that, but we all know. And here's where I've said it. We all know AP is a defensive guy. So there's a lot on Hardegree that we were expecting that we didn't get. But at the same time, what do we expect by a guy who he's just like O'Connell. You know what I mean? And like AP. They're all thrown in there a little prematurely. AP has been doing this development work to the fact where he brought in Gase to work with Hardegree. But how much in a couple of weeks where you're making decisions really quickly? You know what I mean? And, so I get it. But I still saw how we could have won. You know what I mean? Even when it got close, the kid Jones is saying, hey, I didn't jump off sides. And the one thing drove me nuts is the PI call. The one that was on him, right. I thought was BS before that. And then I'm like, they do worse stuff to us that never get called, but that's the life of being a Raider.
Right. And was he lined up off sides? I didn't think so. Did he jump? I mean, I don't know. I mean, we just always the refs always do us over like that. And, when that flag came out, I was like, well, there we go.
Typical.
Classic.
Yep. So now, here we are, no playoffs, lots of decisions to make. As number one, I do think at least Champ Kelly is probably going to get the job. Okay. And I think if you look at the playing field of other GMs, unless it's one that's been fired, you're looking at people with pretty much the same experience with him as he is that were either assistants and things like that. I really don't see anything yet that's going to say that he shouldn't get that job. I mean, interview you want. I think we got the smartest guy in the room at that position right now who's not a current GM somewhere. So I think he's going to get the job. How about you? Just on Champ?
No, I like him. I like it. He definitely should stay. He's done the work. I mean, he's already invested. He's in the trenches with scouting and everything else. I mean, it's just, why change that when he's already established himself, has created a team around him, and has found some winners in these drafts. I mean, the last couple of drafts have been okay, but yeah, I definitely see him staying. I want him to stay. But head coach is another thing. We'll get there.
Yeah. And that's the next thing. I mean, I think what we saw in AP, and not just on the field, AP says, hey, it's on the grass. Okay. He did prove his point on the grass as well. Even with that loss, he had this team for the players we have. I think he did put the best product on the field for what he was working with, how he was thrown in. Let's just say, look at his inexperience. I'm thinking, dude, it went wrong. This team went worse with a guy who did have experience. I'm just going to compare him to McDaniels. McDaniels already had experience as a head coach. McDaniels had a full season with us prior to this year and still stunk it up worse than AP, in my opinion.
Yes. No.
So I think not only on the grass, I think behind the scenes, like I say, and I'm not even talking about his intangibles. I'm just thinking about, hey, what you brought to the table, what you did with your coaches, how you worked what you had. I'm thinking, dude, in my mind, that was awesome. A+. It doesn't get better than that. Of course, we want to get that W yesterday and a couple of more. You know what I mean? But I think the guy he replaced would have done worse.
Absolutely.
So that's one of my biggest arguments for AP is that, okay, because that inexperience, of course, is a double-edged sword, because the argument could be, what about when you put him up against Harbaugh, which is a name we've heard. I've had other fans in the chat saying, hey, they like Harbaugh, that they're part of that 0.001% that I think don't want AP. I think that's exactly who they're comparing him against, especially with the fact that how bad our offense has been. They want to see, an offensive guy. I'm like, well, I think we've done our best work with defensive guys outside of when Gruden was the coach the first time, but we didn't win a Super Bowl. That's just me.
Yeah, no, I completely get it. It's such a double-edged sword. I mean, I put a poll out a few weeks back too regarding AP. I mean, the nostalgia. He's Compton. He's a Raider. He was born a Raider fan. He's definitely has a team behind him. I'm just looking at it from another perspective of what I've seen is, and I said it earlier, deer in the headlights almost on that sideline. And that comes with the inexperience of being a head coach. I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
But with winning football teams, there's always structure. There's always a way of doing things offensively, defensively, as a team. The coach, he definitely got the culture, he got the team behind him, but we can't have the players ruling the roost. And to me, that's what I see. We have to decide as Raider Nation, and I'm on the fence either side. I can ride with AP and let's see what happens, or I could actually lean towards bringing in someone with experience, someone that's going to just take over this team and be, the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. Mm-hmm. Now, hear me out here. Let's say we change head coaches, that we bring in a Harbaugh, we bring in any head coach. The players ruling the roost is over. The cigars, all that, unless it's that type of head coach.
Mm-hmm.
Are the players gonna want that? Are they gonna adapt to that? Are they gonna coincide with that? I don't know, because they've already tasted the party. They're ruling the roost. So I don't see if a Harbaugh comes in or another head coach, strong-minded head coach, is going to allow that and let the players be who they're going to be. I don't know. It's to me, deer in the headlights. I can't have it on the sideline. It's
put your GM hat on and make a decision right here. If you had to make the decision, what would your decision be?
AP's not the guy.
AP's not the guy. All right.
He's not the guy. He's not the head coach.
Okay.
He's not the head coach. We're gonna have to go a different direction. Experience, offensive minded head coach. Draft. I mean, do we go? Now we get into the players. Who's going to be the quarterback of this team? It ain't Aiden O'Connell, but it's
all right.
I'm not signing AP.
Somebody's right here with you. Lucky is saying we go after Caleb or Jayton. And then he talks about a sleeper here. So he's basically saying the same thing, that OC is not our, Aiden O'Connell, I'm sorry, is not our quarterback. You're saying the same thing.
Right.
The only thing I would say, though, I mean, I hear a lot of what you're saying. I think Harbaugh is a big players coach, rah-rah too, though.
That's cool.
Don't think, what I mean, and I want to ride with AP, but like I say, if you know me, I'll get over it in a couple of days, because that's the way I roll. But I would like us to stay with AP. But if we didn't and we went with Harbaugh, I don't think that one would actually. I think that would be the most smoothest, as he is a good coach, but he's also, I think, a big rah-rah player guy. I think players love him. I think he does have that. I don't think he has it as much as AP though. I think, you know,
Right.
and I think with AP, he gets these guys to play hard. And a part of that is, you know, just like Jones, he pulled Jones aside, reeled him in, calmed him down, and got him back out there to play last week. So I don't, like I said, I do think he has more control over the players than what maybe let on. I just think because that player in him comes out, he's like, yeah,
Right.
smoke your shit. You know what I mean? I think he
Yeah.
has that kind of attitude, and I think they love it. I think it's like Dan Campbell over in the Lions. You know what I mean? Same
Right.
rah-rah kind of guy. You know what I mean? Former player. So
As a couch GM, I love seeing it. I'm rah-rahing with him. I'm like, shit, I want to be in the locker room having a cigar. I usually have a cigar on the show, but I like it. You know, it's culture. But at the end of the day, we got to ask ourselves, is this a winning formula?
yeah.
And history says no. So it's like we need some structure. We need that offensive guru. You're right. Harbaugh is a rah-rah guy. He's a team guy. But I think it's like we need to bring everything back to earth. You know, it's are we going to do it the right way, or are we going to do it another way? You know, it's like who knows. All these young players too. That's why they like AP, because he's letting them ride the way they want to ride. You know, but at the end
But
of the
see,
day, it has to
Champ
be
said
about
it
the team.
best. Champ said this one thing best. You know, a part of building a great team is working with your players and doing what those players do best. Make sure you're accentuating that and plugging that in. You know what I mean? Don't find a player and twisting to the will of the find a player and say, he does this great. Do we need someone that does this great on our team? Yep. Okay. So you grab them. So I think that's the counter argument to that, to what I think AP will bring. I just think he just needs a strong, if I was AP, I'm making Pat Graham my assistant head coach, and I'm gonna find me a strong OC who has a book. He's got his playbook and come in here and do some things. And I said something yesterday, and I'm gonna say it again real quick. And I was looking at Jordan Love's stats, and Jordan Love, we know what he sat for, like what, 3 or 4 seasons.
Look who he sat behind.
And then he threw 30 touchdowns so far. He still got 1 game to go.
Yeah.
And that's more touchdown than even CJ Stroud, who we know is lighting it up. So, you know, yesterday I was talking about, you know, because Raider Nation didn't like the idea of bringing Russell over here. And I'm like, dude, we might be able to get him on discount. And I'm just like, hey, a lot of us kind of like Aiden O'Connell, but with him sitting for a little while, you know, or draft or get aggressive, go wild, draft a quarterback, keep Aiden O'Connell, get Russell Wilson, let these guys sit for a little while, have some competition, and solidify this freaking, because guess what? The offensive coordinator that Russell Wilson had in Seattle, Bevel, guess what? Quarterback coach and passing game coordinator for the Miami Dolphins. We saw them throw up 70 points. Everybody still hates it. I'm not even sold on it. It just kind of sounds good, and I'm not going to lie.
I'll take a stance on it. I mean, if it happens, it happens. Whatever we decide to do, whatever Mark Davis decides to do with the team, you know, I'm going to ride with it 100%. Yeah. But, you know, that's why we have these conversations. If it was me, I'm the couch GM. Yeah, you know, it's I go the other direction, as I said earlier.
What's up, Scotty?
Hey, what's up, man? I was over there messing around. You wanted me on today. It's my bad.
Yeah, no worries, boss, man. No worries, man.
Hey,
you know, I started with Jerry talking about yesterday, and you know, we had a chance to kind of talk about our favorite moments. So, you know, you've been on Couch GM show with me several times. What was one of your favorite moments on the show?
The favorite moments on this show?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that people can talk about it. I love that you can connect and people can just talk. It's not like, you know, you go somewhere and somebody's going to say something to you or Facebook and stuff. Oh, you're stupid. Nah, man. Why I got to be stupid? Because I got an opinion. The part I love about this show is you can just talk and everybody, and I've gotten a lot. I was like, oh man, I didn't think about that. Oh, okay. That's true. Well, you know, I love that about this show in general. You know, I love that, but there's a lot of laughable moments. We cap on each other a lot. We mess with each other a lot, and it's fun. It's fun.
Definitely. How you feeling about yesterday, my brother?
Man, I'm heartbroken. I'm not even gonna lie. But you know, I still gotta say, are we ending kind of on the rise? I still think kind of we are. You know, you know, I was listening to you guys right now. You know, about the AP and going after Harbaugh and all that stuff. And why does this one game? You know, everybody said, well, if he beats KC, he should have the job. Well, he beat KC, but then he loses the next. Oh no, now he shouldn't have the job. What do we get? Look, if we get rid of AP, everybody's gonna say, "Man, what could have happened?" Nobody's gonna know that. I think he's got a ways to go. He does. I heard the comment deer in the headlight a while ago. He did look like that. I think he partly cost us the game yesterday. I think there's a solid percentage of the blame goes on his shoulders. Why just get the goddamn first down, man? Jesus Christ, that was driving me crazy.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of blame to go around. The funny part about that is that I think Aiden O'Connell takes a little bit less this game of the blame to go around than the previous games. He didn't. Did he do bad? I mean, no, not really. He didn't do good, but he didn't stink up the joint either. I don't know. I'm not, again, and I've said it before. I'm not sold on O'Connell. I don't know if he's the guy. I'm hoping we get another quarterback in there. I keep AP.
All right, I thought that was going to be my next question. So you're keeping AP. How do you feel? And I read this stat to Jerry. I'm looking at Jordan Love, and y'all know I love that touchdown to interception ratio. He threw 30 touchdowns and 11 interceptions his first year starting in the NFL with a very young team around him, and he sat 3 or 4 seasons. Yeah. How would you feel keeping Aiden O'Connell, getting a veteran? I'm not going to name the guy we talked about yesterday. You already heard my argument. I told Jerry about it just a little minute ago. But how would you feel about, like I say, letting him sit for a little while, even if we want to go wild and still draft someone? But I don't think it's, I see it. I believe Jordan Love was drafted in the first round and still sat. Somebody fact check me on that, but I do believe he was drafted in the first round and sat. I know Mahomes was drafted in the first round and sat at least his first season. I don't think anything is wrong with getting aggressive for that position. It's so important. We already know if we keep AP, he's going to have the defense. We already see what he's doing there. The big area of opportunity is not on special teams. It's on offense.
Well, I think, and we talked a little bit about it yesterday, Omar, that I feel like the NFL is shifting in some type of ways. And what you're referencing in all reality is people are drafting quarterbacks and they're throwing them in right away. Mm-hmm. But those teams, Houston comes right off the top of my head because of Stroud. Mm-hmm. But those teams needed something. They didn't have anything, already there. Those teams needed some. So Bryce Young, look at him. They didn't have nothing. They have to just throw him into the fire right away and see what he does. And then everybody's mad. We wasted a first round draft pick on this scrub, whatever. But they needed that. Do we need that? Kind of. Yeah, we do. I mean, we kind of do. So I don't know about getting I don't know which veterans out there that I'm like, yeah,
you like, right.
I don't really see one, that's really out there like that. All the what we call the good quarterbacks, they're all old. I'm just not in favor of that,
Right.
I just don't like
and on
that.
the Jordan Love, let's not forget he sat for all those years behind the Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
Come on, if that's not getting your PhD in 3 years, I don't know what is.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. There's a shift now. There's the Rodgers and the all those quarterbacks, big name quarterbacks, they're gone.
Yep.
We're like starting all over. There's going to be a new generation of the next greatest, quarterback.
Definitely.
They all got one foot out the NFL.
Yep.
Yeah, I would agree with that. So agreeing with that, then I have to agree with Omar too. We need to make a splash and start, we know AOC, if we sit him, he's always going to be a backup. Let's just be honest. In my opinion, we need to get to your guys' point, we need to get a quarterback and start developing him, and let's just rock it out. It is what it is. We need a new, young quarterback that's going to be our face. We know, let's not bring up Derek Carr. We thought he was going to be it. 9 years of that. And now here we are here we are. Who's going to throw the rock? It's not Jimmy G, and we all agree it's not AOC.
Yep. All right, guys, let's wrap up right now. We definitely have a lot to talk about at the end of the season. I want to get you guys back here. We'll get our boy Arthur back on. We'll do a Couch GM show because I think next week we're going to see something. Even though there's nothing to play for, we're going to see how these guys perform. We're going to see there's going to be a lot more news that that's going to happen between now and our next Couch GM show. So hey guys, I appreciate you guys being on, and I'm going to kick it back over to Angela.
Absolutely.
What's up, Raider Nation? I got a special message for you. Come on, you know what it is. Raiders.
Yahoo made this beat.
Let's go.
Come back and play here for a second time around. You guys welcome me back with open arms, as if I never left. And this team is going to get so much better really, really soon. I want you to take a look out in the center of this field and look at all the guys that came back for this moment here today. We understand what it's about. We understand Raider Nation. We understand Raider love. Since 1966, you guys have been coming to this stadium and you've been rooting this team on the victory. You've seen this team win 3 Super Bowls. And we know the love that you have for this team. It ain't going nowhere no matter what it plays. We thank you guys for being here. And if you would just indulge me one time, I need that Raiders about you, baby. I need that Raiders. So if we get it, and we can get it on 3. 1, 2, 3. Raiders!
You're on mute. You're on mute, Spicy. I know you had something good to say.
Hold on. I'm backstage. I'm on mute. What's up, Raider Nations? Welcome to the Spicy Shield Talk. Of course, I'm Spicy Raider Girl here with my boy Chris and Mother Moon behind the scenes.
Mother Moon.
That's a vibe right there. That one always gets me hyped. Well,
Me too.
The Spicy Shield Talk. Woods and Whiskey Wednesdays on a Monday. Happy New Year, y'all. We thank you. We're celebrating 3,000 subs today.
Congratulations, Spicy. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Support.
Thank you for your support. Thank you for being a co-host. Honestly, besides our actual cast, I could not ask for a better co-host. You've been amazing. I really enjoy our show. Let's just put it that way. Woods and Whiskey.
I do too. We always have fun. And I mean, just
first time you've done a show without a hat.
no. I just got my hair cut though.
I know this.
Yeah.
You all looking all
I'm
fresh this New Year's.
Yeah, I'm like a new me, man. You know, new me. So you switch it up a little bit.
I like it. Well, if you've been following along, you already know it's a little later in the day now. It's afternoon for this Spicy Shield Talk, so you can start drinking if you haven't already. The drinking game alert is thank you, Raider Nation.
Thank you.
Yeah. And remember, subscribe to Protect the Shield podcast as well.
Absolutely. And I just love how far we've come. And I know I only got a little bit of time because you have a tight agenda, but we've come so far. I love it. We started off as Wind Down Wednesday.
That's right.
And now
I just want to say shout out to Charles Woodson and Jay and the team over at Woods and Whiskey, because we did start this at a Wind Down Wednesday.
Yeah.
we were lucky. Like they came to us within what I think we only did like
I think we did 2. Yeah.
3 episodes of that before we swiftly changed it to
Swiftly.
Whiskey Wednesday. So we want to thank them for their support as well, and we're honored to be part of the team, and we're honored to represent this amazing brand.
Absolutely.
And, yeah, we thank you so much as well. But yeah, what are some of like your favorite moments from this show?
Man,
Our first, by the way, we're wrapping our first season. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but people got to know we're wrapping our first season this Wednesday, and this one will air on Chris's channel, Protect the Shield. So make sure you subscribe to his channel as well. But go ahead, tell me.
I mean, I love so many of them, but like one that really stood out was the National Woodson Whiskey Day on his birthday. Yeah. It was just a good vibe because that was the first time that was the first time we actually was able to kind of tell the world what we were doing. So I don't know, it was just a good vibe. Always have great callers. In particular, I love the first time Stu Swaggart called and he kind of pranked us a little bit.
Oh my gosh, I wish we had that clip. That was amazing. By the way, hilarious. It was unfortunate. I don't know why. My connection fell out right as that was happening. And it was super bummer because he was like, what did he say? He said something like
he called in incognito.
Yeah, called in incognito. Who was the best
looking white boy?
Yeah.
Who's the sexiest white boy to play for the Raiders?
And I was like,
you're like, Stu?
Oh, Stu is this you? And then the connection was cut. I was like, oh man.
Yeah, that was funny. That was a good time. Stu's always a good caller, but it's so many moments that I just loved. I loved our games, and I think we're going to play a few today. So
we are going to play a few today. Speaking of Stu, he likes to crash the party sometimes, and I'm not mad at it. You know what I'm saying? We were doing a show. This was recent, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
He's in the chat. He's like, hey, can I pop on for 5 minutes? 2
hours later.
I'm not mad at it.
No, we had a good time.
I am not mad at it. He has a lot of great things to say. We are talking about episodes that you have missed as well. So if you missed that episode with Stu, make sure you circle back and check that out. He has a very high football IQ.
Yeah, he does.
And, he has a lot of great things to say. And that man speaks, I listen. And I can't say that for a lot of men, okay?
Yeah.
Just saying. This was kind of a funny little note.
I feel like back in the day, you used to always see like, Al's calling.
Oh. I can't tell if it's you talking or the video. I thought you were talking.
Oh no, I wasn't saying that.
Hold on, a little clip.
I feel like back in the day, you used to always see like, Al's calling from up top. Bro, you don't even see those phones anymore.
That was the thing. As I told people, I said, sometimes you answer that mother, and I'm thinking it's Chuck Pagano or Lopez or
it's Al.
Darren Perry, and hey, yeah, what's up, good? What? And then you're like, your shit. Hey, what the hell were you doing out there? And then as you try to answer them,
click, yeah.
Phones back. We need the phones back.
You need the phones back.
That's true.
I don't see the phones no more.
I never see them. Never, no.
And that's funny because they were like the phones with like the cord.
Yeah.
That is so funny. He has some great stories as well and some great insights. Circle back and check out his show. But Otherman, you got a quick little game for us?
I do have a quick little game. And those for you that don't know, on Woodson Whiskey Wednesday, we play a quick little game called Do You Agree or Disagree? And it's just little fun facts. So, or not facts in my head.
I know the first question.
No. The first question, it's not, but our first question usually is, what is the best whiskey on Wednesday? Is that it?
Yeah, but how about what is the best whiskey on celebrating 3,000 subs on this New Year's Day?
Do you agree or disagree that it is?
Agree. Damn.
Yeah, both agree. Everybody, don't get yourself a bottle.
Yeah, go get yourself a bottle.
Okay, the next question. Do you agree or disagree that next season will bring more Raiders fans into Allegiant?
Oh.
Do you think we're
I think so.
because we've been pretty hyped up?
Oh, you know what? We're starting this year on a positive note.
Yes.
I'm gonna go agree.
There you go.
Yes,
There you go.
Oh well, this is not so positive. No. Do you agree or disagree that the refs had some foul calls that were foul?
Oh, agree. That game was a mess yesterday. Okay, I'm not blaming the loss on the refs per se, but let's just say that I feel like there might have been a memo that went out to the refereeing crew that want the Colts to win. Don't make it obvious, but let's maybe call some
calls here and
there. Like if Devontae gets held, no call.
Who cares? Yeah, who cares?
And if the other team's already out of bounds and can't catch the ball because it's already 3 yards out of bounds, call that one. And don't pay attention to Mad Max being held.
Oh yeah. The refs are like this. Like, no, it's not happening.
That was pretty intense. Okay, speaking of Mad Max, do you agree or disagree that he should be a Raider forever?
Agree. And I want to throw one in there, and I'm agreeing to my own. Do we agree Mad Max is the defensive player of the year?
I think we agree.
Agree.
Everybody,
of course.
Let us know, chat. And if you say disagreed, you're not a Raider fan.
Right.
I have maybe two more. Let's see. I know after Omar just did his GM with Jerry and
Scotty Waddy.
The question is, do you agree or disagree that AP should be signed as head coach?
Do I have to make the decision?
Jerry has some valid points. Deer in the headlights. I saw that too, but I think.
Is that your last one?
No, I have one more.
Okay, can we circle back to that one?
It's an easy one. It's an easy answer.
I'm a little on the fence, but if I have to pick, I'm gonna go agree.
Okay.
Sorry, this one. Okay.
Do we, as the years progress on our show,
A little less salty.
we're a little less salty. Still need that smelling salt like Mad Max every now and then to wake us up. But do we agree or disagree that Mark Davis is kind of cool?
I agree.
Now that is big for you, Spice. Now that is.
Right.
I might make a clip of this. This is gonna be a clip. Wow, you come a long way, my dear. You've come a long way.
Yes.
A cool guy and being a good owner are two different things. I understand. I'm just answering the question.
So I hope you had fun with that, agree or disagree, and to the next season.
Speaking of, I think we have a little clip here that has something to do with Mark Davis, and I don't really know what it is. It was sent by Chris. So
For real.
I know. It might be like, listen, you just changed your mind in 2 seconds. I don't know when this was aired. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it was bad.
I don't know what I'm about to say. Let's go for it.
Let's see it.
Did not think Mark had the kahunas to do this. So much respect for him, man. And I know that a lot of the fan base and Spice, me and you always talk about how sometimes the fan base still gets on our nerves. I still see the whole sell the team. Like even during the press conference, people were like, sell the team, get rid of Mark Davis, but whatever, man.
Actually did what they wanted him to do.
Exactly. But I'm like, whatever. But the fact that, he took the time to meet with the guys, to meet with the Max Crosby, to meet with the Devontaes and hear them out, man, like that's the kind of stuff that, people can make fun of his haircut and everything else that he does. One thing about Mark, I don't care what nobody say. He cares about his people, man. Like even that first year, the COVID year, he didn't even go to the games because the fans couldn't go. So, I let a lot of jokes and stuff go, about Mark, man. But me personally, I respect that dude, man.
Okay.
So you were good. You didn't say nothing.
Well, I didn't like verbally say anything.
Yeah, you had a poker face. You had a good poker face.
Those facial expressions might tell a different story.
Now, I will say one thing, and I know this isn't really our show, but I don't know if you want to show the clip of the time that we were on another show together. With JB. Now, it may not be the time and place, but that's when I'm like, Spicy. That's when I knew we're going to be partners forever. I was like, Spicy is a firecracker. That
Yeah,
was awesome.
I didn't pull it, but it is on
No, it's
our
cool.
channel. You got to search for it. Yeah, this was on someone else's show where they invited Raiders fans to be on as commentators. There were what? Wow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us.
Yeah, about 5.
Actual Raiders fans, and one was a poser, and he needed to be called out.
That was great. That was great. Maybe we should put that on the members only, because I'm telling you, you guys would love that if you guys saw it. Spicy was on her A game.
There you go. There you know. You know. If you didn't already know, you knew how I got my name just from that clip.
Yeah, I think that's what that moment. I'm like, oh, she don't play. That's my dog.
Definitely. Well, thank you, Chris, for joining us here. We are celebrating 3,000 today. We appreciate you. We appreciate you being part of this channel. I appreciate you as a co-host. Remember, go subscribe to his channel as well. Protect the Shield. And we are going to have our season finale of the Spicy Shield Talk Woodson Whiskey Wednesdays this upcoming Wednesday. So make sure to tune in. Like, we bouncing around with all kinds of backgrounds here. There's a lot going on. All right. Well, thank you for being on, Chris.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Congrats on that 3,000.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Much love. We're almost there. We are going to be back here with the cast of Outtake with some special guests just right after this quick intro.
What's up? What's up? Oh, they caught me with my glass in my hand.
Perfect. What's good, Raider Nation? Welcome to For Life on Raider Story. This is Outtake with Spicy, Raider Girl, Mother Moon, and Omar. And we are here with some special guests behind the scenes. We'll get them here on in a second. But again, we just want to thank everybody for watching today and watching over the past, 4 seasons, years? I don't even know how to say it. My goodness. Can you believe, we talked about this a little bit at the top of the show, but wow, can you believe we're at this point in this? I mean,
thank you.
Moon, Omar, did honestly, did either of you think we would still be doing this come 2020?
Still going.
Still good. No, I didn't think at all. I thought, okay, during COVID, a little bit here and there, but it's like you said, we have been calling it a network for now a couple of years because there are so many different shows or something you could pop on and anyone could find a show they like. But no, I haven't thought, even when we go on hiatus, we find people coming back and watching, and then we're back, start a new season.
Yeah, and speaking of so many different shows, you can look through our playlist. Here we have special segments, of course, and we've interviewed, like we said, we started this it was really about the fans when we started this. So if you just kind of, here's the show Chris was talking about right here. This was the poser. This is the poser show right here. I guess it's just called Raiders. Raiders. All right, fair enough. If you want to see the poster called out, it goes by JB. I don't know. He claims to have a Raider show. He claims to be a Raiders fan. I don't know. Anyway, check it out. Neither here nor there. But yeah, you can obviously just go through these and see, my girl Virginia Madden right here. She always got some fun stuff to say. And then, like I said, it was about the fans. So check out these candid conversations. Interestingly enough, I just received a notice earlier today that someone just found this video here with the mob boss where Mother Moon interviewed him. And so I think the comment was literally something like, hey, I just found this. And this was from 2 years ago. Of course, we have our candid conversation with Senor, Raider Homies. Omar, you were talking about this one earlier. Your interview with Demon King. We got Mother Moon here with Squid, Black Widow, of course, my favorite, little Chucky Gruden. So yeah, go back and check out these interviews if you want to get to know these fans, a little more in depth, if you will.
And we've also done some shows to celebrate the veterans, you know, so those were always good to have the people of Raider Nation. Yeah. Those who are veterans, that was always good. I'm surprised, Spicy, that you didn't say one of your favorites was when Metallica rolled up.
Oh, well,
it wasn't a, well, yeah, it
wasn't a show. That's why. Yeah, but that was one of my favorite moments from a tailgate, which is in, I believe, season 1, if you want to check that out.
Yeah.
But that was one of my favorite moments, I think, just at a tailgate or being a Raiders fan, not necessarily being on the show or being part of the show. If you haven't already seen our page, here it is, of course. Remember to subscribe. And we have a lot of great content here. And I think the thing about our channel is, you can actually go back and watch some of this stuff and it's relevant. We do a lot of live shows now where we talk about, the games. And that doesn't really have the longevity that some of these seasons have. I mean, next year we're going to forget about such and such loss that we talked about in our opinions on it. But if you really go back here and watch these seasons, I mean, this stuff will live forever, and these opinions are valid. And we have, like we said earlier, there's 4 seasons. And the Raiderettes Roundtable, these stories are never going to get old. So you can watch these at any time. This kind of stuff stays relevant forever,
Right.
So if you just flick through our channel here, you can definitely watch a lot of these different things and get something from it. Enjoy it as a Raiders fan. Again, candid conversations. Here's some of our live segments that we've done, out there in the wild, as I like to say. So yeah, circle back, check it out. And this is the most important part right here. If you join today or I guess today. Yeah, if you join, we're going to be on for another 30 minutes. If you join today, become a member. You have a chance to win that bottle, the Woodson Whiskey commemorative bottle. And of course, if you're already a member, you're already entered. Just click that join button. As you can see, there's 3 levels here. And you can join as little as $2.99 a month. And like we said earlier, the For Life, our Raiderettes Roundtable, will be members only after our season finale tomorrow. So make sure to get in on that. All right.
Do we have a drinking game today?
We do. Of
3,000.
course
We do.
I think that's
fan and any Raider. Right? All those words.
All words. Thank you.
all of it. I love it. All of it. That's the one thing consistent throughout all of our shows, I think, is we have a drinking game. Anyway, we represent the Oakland Raiders and the Oakland Raiders tailgate around here. And if you're not drinking early in the morning and all the way through, then I don't know what you're doing. So
with that, those who don't drink, we have an option for you. If you don't know, you could either twerk or toke.
There you have it.
Or you can do all 3. Whatever pleases you.
I fake drink, because I'm definitely not twerking. So I fake. I'm gonna admit it. I fake drink.
Well, we like to think of ourselves as the tailgate of Raider YouTube. You know how we do. But let's go into some football talk here and our last little segment here of our take. If you've seen it before, it's always us giving our opinions on the Raiders. And we also have guests to give their opinions as well. So let's kind of bring in these guys one at a time here. Jay Jackson, what's good, my friend?
Jay.
Hey, everybody.
Thank you.
Hey, Omar. Hey, Mother Moon.
Hi. Happy New Year.
Oh, Happy New Year to you, too. And also, I've got my Woodson whiskey bottle here. We are ready, everybody. But I can't drink because I got to go to work here in about an hour.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that's a bummer. You can drink it later. You can drink it later.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just want to shout out to you, Jay. You've been a longtime supporter of the show. I think you've probably tuned into almost every episode we have had, or at least circled back and watched it later. And you've actually been on our show, as we spoke about earlier. When we actually got back out there in the wild, I did a live segment in Arizona with Jay and Jerry, you saw earlier, and that was such a great show as well. But then most recently, you've kind of just transformed, if you will, if that's the right word, into just kind of being like an on-the-ground supporter of the show, especially, when we were out in Miami. You were helping us out there with different things. As we talked about earlier, the show has evolved into now doing watch parties and events where you've had a hand in on. So we want to thank you for that.
Oh, thank you. It's been a great time. Because my tagline is Navajo on the go. So I am out there. I'm trying to get to all the events, and along with one of my other buddies, All In, Out and Win, we're making a lot of videos. And we have one that I believe I sent to you. And so hopefully everybody gets a chance to take a look at that, because you're all in it.
I'm going to show that right now.
Oh, excellent. Thank you.
Let's check it out.
So Jay, you do travel a lot.
Oh, I love it. It's a great time, especially when I get to see all my friends and family.
So this is like, I haven't seen it yet, actually. Like, I purposely did not watch this when you sent it because I wanted to watch it live. But this is when we were out in Miami. We were all on this amazing boat. Let's check it out.
Oh, wow.
What's up, Raider Nation? Spicy Raider Girl here. You know I got that B57 and out. Somebody's playing. Miami. Raider Nation, baby, let's go.
Wow, that was a good time.
Like the music?
Yes.
Oh my.
Oh, what's going on there?
I didn't know you got in. Oh, the boys did too.
Oh my gosh, that was so much fun.
Yeah. Oh, it was. And also another thank out to Charles Woodson. Thank you. All that, all the whiskey, we put it to good use.
We did.
Right. Sponsoring our little yacht party there. We appreciate you. We had fun. I want to do that again.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
It was good times.
And another one of our friends here, friends of the show, who's kind of segueing his way into working with us as well with some of the live events, who was also in that video. We have Johnny here from Nation Most Hated. What is good, my friend?
What's up, Johnny?
Hey, what's up,
Johnny?
Everybody?
Happy New Year.
Yeah,
Johnny's quick. He's quick to making you a little. You want a little poster? You want a little something on your shirt? Quick today,
no,
right?
Yeah.
I just want to say, thank you, Johnny, as well. For being part of this channel, what this channel's evolved into. You've been on several times with the draft show and in our watch parties, and you've contributed with, like Mother Moon said, different flyers and really being kind of on hand with these parties that we've done in different places. So this show is only as successful as our supporters, our viewers, and gentlemen like yourselves who are really out there with us in the wild making this happen. So, I think this is a congratulations to not only us as a channel, but really to all of us as a team who's collaborated really over the past couple seasons now. So thank you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, you're welcome. Looking forward to many more.
Yes, most definitely. Now, remember, if you haven't already, do us a favor and subscribe. If you're not a subscriber, we are celebrating 3,000 today, of course. It's been a long time coming, actually. I think as a channel, we do tend to slow down a little bit because we do take a hiatus. That's why this is kind of our last week with season finales, and we do take a hiatus. So, it's been a long time coming to get to 3,000, and we really, really do appreciate that. It means a lot to us. So this 3,000 happened on December 22nd, I think it was, which was about a week and a half ago, roughly 10 days ago. And we've already surpassed that. We never looked back. We never fell back into the 2000s. I thought when we hit that 3,000 mark, you get some subs, you get some people that come and go, but we never looked back. And we are well over 3,000 now. We've got 23 additional subscribers since then. So we are hopefully on our way to the next milestone. So thank you guys.
Great job.
Definitely.
All right, and we are going to bring in Scotty Waddy Raider 1 back in here for this last
there he is.
Or so. What's good, Scotty? Thanks for sticking with us.
Hey,
Why don't we get into what this show really evolved in after we did the episodes and after we were out in the wild, and it was Raiders football talk. So,
yes,
we were unfortunately eliminated yesterday. And, it was a tough day, but I think there's some promise on the horizon. Let's talk a little bit about, I guess, how we felt about that game and what we think we need to do to move forward to hopefully become a contender in this next upcoming season. I'll start with you, Jay.
Well, can I say something first before Jay goes?
Okay.
Scotty Waddy was on just a little bit with Omar, and you did say that this is a show where you can have your opinion and it's validated through everyone, and there's no back talk. It's your opinion, and we welcome your opinion. And so this is absolutely true. So yeah, I'm glad you recognize that, and it's a safe place. Yeah. Okay. So Jay, what did you think about it?
I like that. Safe place. Well, I for one think that we should keep AP as a coach because he does have the backing of the team. They all want him as a head coach. And even if we bring in somebody else, there's no telling if anyone will really follow him, just rally behind him. I mean, but we do need a new OC, somebody who knows his business. Let's see what else, and definitely a quarterback. Sorry, AOC, but I think he's going to have to be like a backup for a while, for at least another year or two, just so we can better learn the game, so we can move around in the pocket instead of just standing there.
Yeah, I kind of tend to agree with that. I'm a little bit on the fence with Antonio Pierce, and AOC definitely is a backup, but if we looked at the game yesterday, in my opinion, that game to me really did come down to coaching. Did AOC make mistakes? Of course, but coaching, in a sense, were really the offensive coordinator, the play calling that was bad. But then when you are the head coach, you gotta get veto power and say that can't happen. I was 2 plays at least, maybe 3, when the Raiders had 3 and 1, and they were running around out there looking like a circus act. And to me, that's coaching.
That's true.
And then you lose by 3 points. And you look at some of the play calling and you're like, and to me, I'm just like, okay, this is not on these players here. What are they having them doing out there? And to your point, yeah, AOC, we don't necessarily, like Stu had said, we don't necessarily need a mobile quarterback, but we need somebody who can scramble out of the pocket when you see something coming, and he doesn't do that very well. But
at least look around.
At least look around. Yeah. But I'll move on. I'll say, Johnny, what was your take on yesterday's performance?
Well, when it comes to AP, you're not going to have the Raiders play that hard, especially as vicious with the right mindset, on which they did to Kansas City. That was as Raider as it gets. If you kept that up, the whole league is like, holy crap, this is 70s, 80s Raiders. This is no joke, especially with the defenses you've seen throughout the years recently with other teams. We were looking meaner than all of them. But yesterday, I love AP, but there's technical difficulties there, these 3rd and 1 mismanagements, like you said, especially when they ran that trick play. And it's like, okay, that was so stupid, but it's like 4th and 1, 3rd and 1, and then they get the false start after, and then they have to punt. Like, what a waste. And I too am on the fence based off that, but I don't think it's enough to not want him, because I feel like he does get better. I feel like he does want to get better. He does understand that he's still growing as a coach. But as for the offensive coordinator, I tried to feel the same way. But after that yesterday, I'm like, dude, come on. Especially, sometimes he runs the ball on like 3rd and 7, 3rd and 10. Like, you're throwing it away at that point. So just little things they don't understand, just principles, concepts of what they should never do as a coach.
Yeah, definitely. And to your point, AP is definitely the hoorah guy. I like the vibe. I understand the players like him. I like the swag he brings. I like the Raiders culture he brings. But is that enough? Is that enough to make him, the head coach and to make this team successful? And I just don't know. But on the other end, it's like, we're gonna bring in someone like Harbaugh. Like, what vibe is he gonna bring? Like, that scares me a little more, to be honest. Like, I'm not sure I want that vibe here. But if you look at the Kansas City game that you just spoke about, Johnny, yeah, those are some dogs. But then you look at this last game and you're like, what happened? It's like we don't know which team we're going to get from week to week. Scotty, what do you think?
This is this is what I think the mindset was in yesterday's game. I think that the mindset was, go ahead and run this fancy little stuff. It might work. If it works, it's genius. It didn't work, but the mindset was the defense will get us the ball back, because we punted and we pinned them within the 10-yard line. How many times, and the defense will get us the ball back. The next drive, and that never happened. That never came to fruition. So I think we relied too much on the defense. We got too damn cute on the plays, and we just needed to play football. Just play small ball. What's wrong with picking up a first down? It was mind-boggling. Why can't you just get the first? Why do we need 20? We need 1.
Right.
So I think the mindset was defense will do it for us again.
I agree. I think it was too heavily reliant on that, because what the defense had done in the past.
Yeah.
So they were kind of just hey, we'll get the ball back. We'll get the ball back. But time kept running out.
I know.
Time kept running out. You can't just keep getting the ball back. And this is another thing. Speaking of time running out, might be the worst clock management that I have seen. No, I would say that is the worst clock management I have seen this season with the Raiders, and especially under Coach AP. They had no sense of urgency. They randomly burned their timeouts in inappropriate times. They didn't have any sort of hurry up offense. And it just looked like they didn't really know what they were doing, to be honest, a lot of times. I'm just sitting there what is happening? Is this a miscommunication? Was this the game plan? It was quite confusing. It seemed like we were watching a different team that we had seen in the previous week.
So when what's his name got fired, everybody was talking about, well, we got to start over, new coach, rebuild, and I didn't think it was a rebuild, because we have too many good players to call that a rebuild, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Before Kansas City, give AP the job. He's got to beat Kansas City. Well, he beat Kansas City. We lost by 3 points. Was it mismanaged? Was it? Yes. There was a lot of fault there's a lot of fault to spread around. I don't think that gets him shot out the door. I don't think that gets him shown out the door. I agree. I agree with what Jay said. You got to give him time. Let's not forget, everybody got thrown into a mess.
Exactly.
That's true.
You didn't even have an off season to prepare for this. You had a week to prepare for a new coach and a new quarterback and everything else, and then try to figure it out, on the job interview. AOC, I'm not sold on him. My best case scenario is, I hope we can get Jaden Daniels, create some competition in there. We're gonna go through some growing pains. We're going through growing pains. It's gonna be what it is.
It's always that, though, right? I mean, I think we're just it's tired. Mother Moon and I were talking about this earlier. Every single year, it's a losing season filled with drama, and this year is no different.
I think though, I think the bright spot out of this year though is we struck gold. I'm sorry, I still think finding AP this way, AP we would have never even heard of AP for head coach if this didn't happen. This is one of those step backwards that I think is going to give us 2 steps forward. I mean, if you look at yesterday's game, oh man, my emotions is everywhere. But on the defensive side, in my mind, it's 4 plays, 2 of which were those penalties against Jones, which I think was hella questionable. And the other 2 was those big plays. And I think we know we need a cornerback. I mean, to me, seeing us get burnt deep, like I say, if anything could have won that game, it would, in my mind, was going deep on us. And it happened, unfortunately. I do think we got to get better at cornerback. I mean, especially we play a zone a lot, and that's great, but you got to be able to close a distance really quick, you know what I mean, to be able to play that zone defense well, you know, because other than that, you're going to hit some holes. But if you look at those plays, Amik could, especially on that one, Amik Robinson could not cover that distance fast enough to get some hands up in there to cause some havoc to defend that play. And then, yes, there were some other there was some coaching things. Just like I said, that one play, I believe it was Jacoby Myers who caught the ball, ran out of bounds, and I could have sworn, I'm like, isn't the clock supposed to stop? I'm like, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But like you say, you saw AP deer in headlights. Dude, I'd rather deal with an AP who's got some room to grow than some guy who thinks he knows it all, blows up the team. And you know what I mean? Like I said, we know what we're going to get. Yes, look at the offense. We know the offense needs an offensive coordinator. We know that. We got a rookie quarterback, and not only do we have a rookie OC, this guy was Hardigree was our quarterback coach and got thrown in as well, because a lot of times they don't. How many times do you see a team fire the head coach, fire the GM, and the offensive coordinator? Right. When does that happen? I can't remember. I was thinking in my head, like, when the hell does that ever happen?
Leave it to the Raiders for breaking records we don't want to break.
Right.
Exactly.
Really quickly, Omar, before we move on here, I do want to shout, I hope I'm still watching Fish and Game. Thank you. I love this comment. Might be one of my favorite comments we've ever had on this show. He says, this was the quintessential episode of what For Life, our Raider story has become, from family to a whole network for Raider Nation to enjoy. That's beautifully written. So thank you. And thank you for your support.
To you.
We're glad you're enjoying this show in particular and all the shows we have on this channel. And how it's evolved. So we appreciate you.
And of course, without our subscribers, we couldn't do it. And even when we go on hiatus, like I said, it's out there. Everyone's spreading the word. And once again, thank you, everyone, for spreading the word.
Subscriber was a new drinking word. I just added it.
I think it was a drinking word. I just want to say, we during the bye week, we did not do shows at all. So that was kind of like a mini hiatus for us. And we rebranded some of the content and put it out there for everyone to enjoy. And we had hundreds, thousands of views on shows that already exist on our channel without us even putting up any new content throughout that bye week. We had hundreds and thousands of views without new content. That's actually a number that isn't looked at, I don't think, very often. We look at how many subs and how many views that we get every time we're on here live. But to not put out new content and still have the channel be that active, I think it is a huge accomplishment for us.
Yeah.
For all of us, I mean.
No one has anything. That's right.
And don't forget to share and subscribe, everybody.
Yes.
We're building each other up. We're helping each other. And it's great.
So looking back to football, okay, we're all disappointed here. Another year. It's gonna be a long off season again. Let's do real quickly, like a fire round, real quick. No pun intended. Rapid round, we'll say. Who's if you have to choose, no wishy-washy, because I know I'm on the fence with a lot of things. Who's keeping AP? All right, so I agree. We're all that, right?
Yeah.
Who thinks AOC should be the starter?
You can upgrade.
Okay, all right.
Okay,
no one.
That the OC needs to be replaced.
No, definitely.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah. I'm a little behind. Sorry, yeah.
And I think, who thinks that the Raiders should move forward and give Champ a chance?
Oh, yeah.
I do.
Give him a chance.
Yeah.
All right, and the last one, just for fun, because we represent the Oakland Raiders. Who thinks the Raiders should move back to Oakland?
Hey, it's all town business here.
If you reframe that, like, I wish, but yeah, I wish they would. But
It might happen.
can we bring the stadium with them? There we go. If they bring the stadium.
We're really not having the cement built.
I would not want that, actually, because I don't like playing in domes. I would not want the stadium. I would want
I'll
it
take the stadium. I'll take the stadium
Can
too.
it come as a convertible?
I want it all.
As a convertible.
No, we just went to Miami, and I really miss sitting outdoors.
Outside, right?
What's that?
No,
when
I agree.
When that sun was burning my face, I missed Allegiant.
Oh, you sat in the wrong place.
I was sitting there sweating. I missed Allegiant. I was like, damn.
Something about like sports needs to be played outdoors for me. Like I don't want to watch football and baseball inside. It's just not a vibe for me. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Okay.
Oh, but one more vote. Who thinks the NFL referees need to be retrained?
Oh.
And
it wasn't.
I mean,
just
they
our game.
sucked yesterday.
This weekend was just full of hella bad. I mean,
Hell
it's
yeah.
so bad. It's bad enough. All the, all the rumors and stuff. The script, the this, the that. If I'm Roger Goodell right now, I'm calling all of y'all in. Like, dude, are you kidding me?
Yeah, like what the hell? What was this? What was this called?
I mean, that one team, I guess, for Dallas, they can't even participate in like playoffs. They got eliminated. But I just don't think that's good enough. I think you're right. I think retraining is ongoing for these guys.
Yes.
It's got to just be ongoing, a part of the deal. It's getting terrible.
Great. Because there's not I don't know, maybe there are consequences. They don't get to ref a next game, or what their pay scale is if they don't do well. But there should be definitely a training, a retraining, and sit in the corner and watch what you did. That wasn't a good call.
Define do well though, Mother Moon, because I spoke on this a little bit earlier, I think, and I'm pretty pragmatic. I'm not the one that thinks like my team is always safe.
Right.
Like I call it as I see it. But yesterday was just really, really poor, one-sided, I would say, and that's why I said define bad. They might have gone out there and did the job they were asked to do, which was swayed a little bit.
And I think
stuff was pretty. Stuff was pretty. I mean, that one play, the guy had Devontae holding his pads. Nothing.
And I think they just basically should add challenging. You should be able to challenge a few penalties, and definitely if it's going to take points away or give people a second try, like for that field goal, there needs to be a booth review of that penalty. I think so. If some of these calls can be so pivotal, they need to go get a booth review. They do. I think it should be. I think these games are too crucial for them not to add that. You know what I mean?
I was going to say the same thing as Omar just said. I think that what could change is to be able to challenge more different calls and stuff like that, because some of that is just egregious, man. Like, come on, how do you not see that? Like everybody else saw it except you five. What the hell? How's that possible?
The last 2 minutes, that last part of the fourth quarter, or like I say, or points, they already do it for touchdowns. But like I say, suppose they would have reviewed that damn field goal and found that Jones didn't jump off sides. We're talking a whole different game just to review that one thing. You know what I mean? If he really didn't jump off sides, let's review it real quick because it's a scoring play. Not a touchdown, but still a scoring play. We may have a different result. So I think they should really look at that. Let's send letters.
Send letters. Just create a mass one so we can all sign it.
Fine. I was just gonna say, you guys spoke on your signage situation on your GM. Omar, you are banned from making signs. You remember? I don't know. I don't know if you caught my comment because I mistyped half of it and had to retype the other half. But what happened the last time you made a sign? Tell everybody a memorable moment.
I banned myself from making signs, and you guys are going to remember this game. This is back in Oakland. Brett Favre's father had just passed away, I decide to make a sign that says cut the cheese and send them packing. And if y'all remember that game, Favre went off. He went off. I took it personal. I'm like, damn, did he read my sign? I left that sign in Oakland and I've never made a sign again.
So you're banned for making signs. We got a couple more minutes here. I just want to ask this last question regarding the Raiders, and it's not. I don't hear it ever being spoken about because we're all as Raiders fans really being stuck on speaking about the three kind of like elephants in the room, right? The coach, the quarterback, and the GM. What do you guys think of? And we'll be controversial. We love a little controversy, don't we?
Always.
Devontae Adams is performing because. Here's the thing. I understand. Devontae, don't hate me. I love you. Come on. But I got to say, I'm just going to say, I'm going to be real. Yeah, AOC is not on target all of the time, okay? He is not hitting him in his numbers. Devontae's having to contort this way a little bit, contort that way, a little bit out of his reach. And Devontae made a hell of a catch with that touchdown pass. But I think he needs to catch some of those passes. And I know they're not right to him, but they are hitting him in the hands. You know, he was spoiled over there getting these perfect throws from Aaron Rodgers. And you're supposed to be the best receiver in the league, man. So if it's hitting your hands, I need you to catch it. Okay. Do you all disagree with me? Was that terrible?
I do a little bit.
No.
I disagree just a little bit. And it's one quick point. I see Devontae. I see him drawing so many flags that aren't being thrown, and I think he gets frustrated. Those DBs be all over Devontae, and I'm like, dude, there should be way. And the only thing I gotta say is Devontae, it's fucked up, bro. I'm with you, but you gotta get it out of here because I do think it gets to him a little bit because I think sometimes, I mean, the things these DBs do to him. If we did that when we do that to the opposing team, boom, yellow. That's my 1 point, but I do think there was some he could catch too as well.
Devontae's got to catch the ball. Devontae's got to catch the ball. There's no excuse for it. Period. He's a professional. He's getting paid. I'm buying tickets. You're buying jerseys. We buying hats. You got to catch that ball. That's what we paid for. There's no excuse. I believe Devontae shares a solid percentage of the blame for yesterday's game.
All right. So I have gotta have a 50-50 split on agreeing with me. What do you think, Johnny?
Definitely. He has to catch those balls. I mean, I like bigger plays, but I guess they're covering the hell out of them. And then there's a lot of drops out there. But yeah, just catch the ball, man. He's that damn good. We got the number one receiver. Got a rookie quarterback. We gave you the number one receiver. Like, something's got to give.
Jay?
Oh, just like what Scotty said, we're paying him all that money. And he has all this time on the field on this other team. So he should be getting the ball because he did say at the beginning of the season, whenever you throw me the ball, you think I'm going to go that way. I've got 3 more routes already planned. I thought ahead of that. So I was like waiting. I'm like, well, where are these other routes? But AOC he's getting there, but yeah, Devontae has got to hold on to that ball.
Mother Moon?
Did you guys hear yesterday on the broadcast, they said Devontae Adams runs the most go routes in the NFL, and he runs like over 90 more than the rest of the league. And how many bombs have you seen him catch this year? Like none. It was like one Jimmy Garoppolo throw against Pittsburgh, which was like a garbage throw. It was like such a faded pass. But dude, how do we run the most deep routes with Devontae? We don't even hit any. Like, what kind of shit is that?
That's an interesting point. Mother Moon, what do you think?
I think he needs to get used to not getting the ball thrown right in the sweet spot. He has to stretch out, maybe get an inch longer on the gloves, get some more, stick them on the gloves. I don't know what it is, but he needs to really perform a little better.
So that point real quick, though, I thought all of our receivers needed to attack the ball, and I didn't see none of them actually attacking at the ball. So that is a great point, including Devontae. So, yep.
Well, there you go. Before we get out of here, last thing. Going into this game, the Raiders have officially been eliminated. Of course, we all know that. Do we put out those starters? And if we do, how many reps do we see them play? I'm thinking, look, I'll just start with saying, it's going to be hard to keep somebody like Mad Max off that field. So I'll let him go in for like the first defensive stand, and then you got to come off, dude. There's way too valuable for me for a game that means nothing. And I know people will disagree. They want to see these players, and you're buying tickets and you want to see these players, and these guys want to play. But to me, it's just not worth it.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think Mad Max kind of needs to be in because he's played game after game. He doesn't want to be sat out. But yeah, I don't want any of the guys getting hurt. And if it's not going to benefit them to play, then yeah, let the other guys start. But let the starters be in for a minute or two. But that's about it.
What do the rest of you guys think?
It's tough. You're right. You want to protect the player. They could have, bad injuries that could happen. That could affect, into next year. That's always a possibility. I want to beat the Broncos 4 years in a row. I don't care if it's meaningless, but I get your point. I'm not saying, I won't be disappointed if they pull them.
And to that, I'm not saying it's meaningless because we do want to beat the Broncos, and that means a lot to the fan base. It's meaningless in the sense that they're obviously eliminated at this point.
Sure.
Any other thoughts, guys?
That's true. And some of the newer fans, you're right. Just like Scotty said, they're buying the jerseys, they're buying the hats. They want to go watch a game. Maybe this is their first time they're at the stadium. So they don't want to go out there and see. Okay, well, what happened to Max? He's gone after the first half. I paid to see him. I don't want them to get hurt. I want them to do well. But if they do take them out like halftime or after a short time period, do something for the fans. Come on to the sides where we're all standing. Sign a couple jerseys. Just be there because we stuck with them through the whole game and the whole year.
Yeah. No, and I get that. 'Cause I remember going to like even a preseason game in LA, and I was disappointed that some of the players didn't even show up to stand on the sidelines. So I get that because I'm like, I just want to see them anyway, even if they're not going to play because it's preseason. I get it. But so I get the disappointment factor. But Omar, were you going to say something?
I was just going to say, I know that Max had been suffering with his knees, and I mean that he was sucking it up to play. And if I'm the coach, those are the things I would evaluate right now.
Mm-hmm.
Max had been suffering. There could be other guys that kind of suffering, and I think I would just sit those guys who need it. You know what I mean? Who, we don't have anything to play for anymore. Man, rest those knees, Max. And that's what I would do. Other than that, people are playing. If you're good and you're healthy and you haven't been, at this point, there could be a lot of starters that have been suffering through some lingering things that that I may want to start. I also want to take a look at my depth. You know what I mean? So, like I say, that I still want to beat the Denver. I'm sure AP still wants to win that game, but there will be some things I'm talking with Champ about to kind of get some, that last game evaluation as well going into the offseason. So those will be the things I would consider on who, starting and benching some guys. But like, I think Max is just the one who comes to mind that we know that dude was crawling on the field basically to keep playing. Our left tackle who played second, he played backup yesterday. And, Colton Miller, he's not playing. You know what I mean? Like I say, if I'm the AP, this is the things that I would do because I want Miller healthy. I want Max healthy. So I'm automatically ruling those guys out and saying, just, hey, be on the sidelines.
We look at it through a different lens because we're fans, but we got to also remember that this is a business and they got to protect their assets. They put millions of dollars into these people, into their asset.
Yep.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, we are over time. So any final thoughts, guys, really quickly, if you have any final thoughts before we go, anyone?
I got one.
Sure.
You said earlier, I know we're and then this isn't at you, but you said, we're disappointed because of that. I got to say this. I don't think I'm disappointed in this season. I think we took a turn in the right direction. Are the wheels coming off? Is the alignment off and the steering wheel a little shaky? Yeah, but I think we went in the better direction. So in general, I know you're referring to not making the playoffs. I know that's what you're saying.
Losing record, right?
Yeah,
disappointed
in the Raiders in the season. I don't think disappointed is what I am. I'm hopeful. I started this season. I was like, man, we're going to suck. I hate this coach. I hate that. I can't stand it. and when we switched coaches, and it's well documented here on this show how much I hated that other coach. But I think we went in the right direction. Again, I don't think AP's job should be narrowed down to a 3-point loss. He got thrown into a fire too. I'm not disappointed. I'm hopeful.
All right, fair enough. Any other final thoughts before we wrap?
Yeah, I mean, it was fun. Look at the last 2 games. You got the highest points scored, and you beat the crap out of Kansas City. Like those 2 ties in those 2 weeks of that fun, that was worth a lot of.
Yeah,
that's true. Those are fun. That was actually fun to be a Raiders fan for a couple of weeks, right?
Actually, yeah. Walking around seeing all those Chief fans everywhere and talking crap to them. Yeah, that was a great time.
I have a few final thoughts.
Yes.
One, on the season. I never thought. I remember when we discussed would Mark Davis fire McDaniels mid-season. Huge surprise. That showed me something in Mark Davis I hadn't seen. So and then following that, to discover a diamond in a rough in AP. Like I say, we loved Bisaccia, but I still think AP still brings something that even Bisaccia didn't have. And I really hope we ride that and get the supporting cast he needs that to be successful. And then my other final thought is, man, thank you, fans. Doing these shows have been fun. I want to thank you guys, for coming on and all the fun that we've had together. Man, the guys in the chats that, just have fun with us. So, it's been a great ride, and I think it's going to get better, especially as our team gets better. It definitely affects how much fun we have around football. So that's it, man. Let's do it.
Definitely. All right, Scotty, Johnny, and Jay, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you guys. Thank you for being a supporter. Thank you for being on our show, and thank you for being with us out there in the wild. We appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for letting us be on your show. Had a great time. Look forward to next year.
All right.
Absolutely. Always welcome.
Well, we are just going to wrap up here. We haven't said it enough. If we haven't said it enough, we are very grateful for everyone that has watched, has supported. The drinking game alert was thank you. We probably said it a lot of times. I don't know how many. We'll circle back and figure out. It's really hard to pay attention to all the chats and all the members and everything that's going to go on here. But we'll definitely reach out to all of our members for some giveaways and things of that nature. We're going to definitely have to go back and watch, look through these chats and look at our member log, if you will. Well, it's been a great season again on this show. We are going to miss you guys while we are on hiatus, but make sure to go back and catch up on everything we've done. Look out for 4 Life, our Raiderettes Roundtable season finale tomorrow, Tuesday at 6 p.m. Look out for the Spicy Shield talk on Woods and Whiskey Wednesday. I think we're going back to our regular time at 7 p.m. on Wednesday. Any final thoughts before we wrap?
Just love and appreciate everyone. And if I haven't met you in person, I'm looking forward to doing so. And have a fantastic 2024.
Yeah.
Thank you and Happy New Year.
Yes.
All right. We love it. And Raider Nation, we go out one way and only one way. Raiders! Bye, everyone. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
And have a wonderful 2024.
Let's keep the party going.